Pepper Garden Tour number 2. This is July 2nd, 2022. I'm Gail the Gardening Gal, and let's take a look at our peppers this week. Starting out with Carolina Amethyst, and let me tell you, this pepper puts others to shame for prolific amounts of peppers. I have been picking these, I don't know, I've picked at least 20 or so. The plant is very vigorous. There are tons of the ripe fruit already still on it, and it's getting to be a monster. It grew tiny last year. It only grew to be about this tall, so yeah, I didn't think it was going to be this much of a monster, but Carolina Amethyst, way to go. Here in the alcove, we have my Tricked You jalapenos, so no heat jalapenos. They are producing wonderfully well this year, and I've gotten, I don't know how many peppers off this plant so far. It's a little over 2 feet tall, maybe 2.5 feet tall, and still reaching for the sky, still producing tons of peppers. So looking forward to a lot of poppers from this plant. It's kind of hard to tell, but there are 3 plants here, and we're going to take a look at this one. This one is my Giuseppe plant, and I think I saw a pepper the other day on it. Let me go ahead and check. Yep, I see a pepper on the plant, and I think I see another one in another spot. Now these get to be very, very, very large peppers. Hopefully that will happen again this year. I do see a lot more blossoms on it, so that's a good thing, and here's hoping for Giuseppe. Of course, right next to Giuseppe, we have my small grocery store. This is the one where I save the seeds from grocery store peppers. And I'm finally starting to see the peppers from it. See if I have that in shot or not. There we go. Yep. So I will have lots and lots of these peppers. So yeah, you can go ahead and save seeds from grocery store items. Doesn't always work out, but in this particular case it has. So small grocery store. So here is my Valencia Bell or Valencia Orange. It's kind of small. It was planted a little bit later than some of the others, and it is between all of these dwarf tomato plants, which definitely make the pepper plant look dwarf. It's doing well. I'm hoping to get some stuff off of it pretty soon, but Valencia Bell is showing some promise. Now we're coming over to the Adapt plants, and these of course are the seed trials. Now this one is called Pimiento. That's its name. And I'm used to pimiento peppers being kind of like a roundish shape, and these are definitely not a roundish shape. But there are plenty of them on the plant, so we'll see how they end up tasting. You know, I don't particularly care about how they look as long as they taste really well. So next to pimiento, we have miniature tomato pepper, which I think is an odd name. But we do have peppers on it, and they're the more what I would consider the traditional pimiento type. And I do have lots of them up here, so this looks like it's going to be quite a prolific plant. Now let's check the last of the Adapts. And this one is Virginia's Doorknob. Now it looks like a pretty scrawny plant compared to the other 2, but this one has had some ripe fruit that is absolutely fantastic. You know, it made me a convert to pimiento peppers. Let me see if I can get a better zoom in on this one. So here's a better look at the pimientos. Now this is absolutely loaded with fruit, still producing blossoms. If I had been picking these all along, I think I would have a bigger plant, but I wanted to see what it was going to react like when I let the fruit get too ripe. Like I said, this one has converted me. Yeah, I will definitely grow Virginia's Doorknob again in the future. So here's the little Buena Mulata pepper that looks kind of sad in the last video, and you can see it's coming along very nicely. Has all kinds of purple blossoms on it, so yeah, the peppers on it are so beautiful. I can't wait to show you them later on in the season. This is such a beautiful, beautiful plant. Well, next to it we have Jalapeno. Now Jalapeno again is supposed to be kind of a no heat jalapeno. And I thought some of the peppers look like jalapenos, so let me get a picture of some of them, and you can judge for yourself. Now, here's one that, I don't know, I think it kind of looks like a jalapeno. Not too terribly bad. There's one over here that more or less looks like a jalapeno. But over here, we have some that are starting to kind of, to me, look not as jalapeno-ish. Now, one of the things about not jalapeno is that people, consistently say, or not always, but a lot of times people say that this doesn't really taste like a jalapeno, but it doesn't have any heat. Well, we'll see. If the taste is good, I'll keep it. If the taste is not good, then what's the point? So who's this? Well, let's take a look further down and see if you can guess who it is. As we get down, did you guess right? This is Yellow Monster. So the fruits are getting very large. I don't think this is anywhere near large enough size for it, or how big it's going to get. But I have quite a few fruits on it, probably about 10 or so, but this one is the largest, and it's doing beautifully. So, if it tastes as good as it is supposed to, then this is a definite keeper. And I think I will go ahead and trial it against my super heavyweight hybrid that I have. So next year, let's see who does better, the hybrid, the open pollinated, or do they both do well? Now, next to our Yellow Monster, we have our Yellow Bell. So this is just the generic grocery store that I got. So this is something I picked up from, I don't know, Home Depot or Walmart or something. So it has some nice peppers on it. They're not humongous, but they're good sized. The plant is just beautiful, and it has a ton of blossoms on it and everything. I love a good ripe yellow pepper, so here's hoping on our Yellow Bell. Here are my twin jalapenos. So one is Craig's Grande and the other one is Yellow Spice. Craig's Grande is the one up here in front, and there are a ton of peppers on it. Lots and lots of jalapenos. Now, the back one is where Yellow Spice is, and it was actually the first one to produce fruits. But I would say at this point, Craig's Grande has kind of started out producing it. Now, here's something I found out. These particular plants like a lot of water. I have them in about a 12-gallon grow bag, and every day they look like they are in need of water when everything else around them is fine. So for whatever reason, these two jalapeno plants, and maybe I just planted them too close together and they're such big plants, but keep that in mind when you're planting in grow bags. Sometimes you may have to limit the number of plants you put in a grow bag depending on their variety. Here we go with Hadjuchek, and I probably am totally mispronouncing the names, but this is a bell pepper, and it is doing beautifully. It's in the bottom tier of my grow tower, or my Greenstalk, and in reality, it would be doing a whole lot better if it wasn't being shaded out by everything above it, but it's beautiful. It's a lovely plant. It looks like the peppers are going to be very tasty, although I do see some sun scald on this one, so I may have to pick it just to not sap the strength from the plant. But yeah, Hadjuchek. We're looking up at my lunchbox orange pepper, and it's, like I said, it's doing so beautifully here in this Greenstalk Tower. I just got another one, and I'm going to be, planting a lot more stuff in it for this coming season. But anyway, the peppers on it are much larger than I expected for a lunchbox variety. And I'm just waiting for the first fruits. Okay, let's check the last pepper in this tower. So here is a lunchbox red pepper. So this is the first of the lunchbox series to ripen, and it's doing pretty well. It's also in the bottom tier of this grow tower, the Greenstalk, and it doesn't get enough sun because of the edamame and everything above it. But I will probably pick this in the next couple days and see how lunchbox red ends up tasting. Here is my Romanian rainbow, and this is such a beautiful pepper, and I see that something has gotten into this one. Gosh darn it. Do I need to go ahead and organza bag my peppers now? But anyway, I digress. This one is the one that goes from like a light green color to like an ivory color to an orange to a red. So it has probably about 7 or 8 peppers on it right now. And for such a small plant, it is doing beautifully. So I want to see those peppers turn colors, yes. Anyway, this one is Romanian Rainbow. Well, that's it for today. I'm Gail the Gardening Gal. If you've enjoyed today's video, please go ahead and do a like and subscribe. Thank you very much. I will be doing another garden tour of everything else, like my eggplants, and let's see, I have eggplants and potatoes and sweet potatoes and all sorts of stuff. So I will do a garden tour of that in a little bit, but for now I will sign out and say have a great gardening day. Bye.